welcome back to the Bliss Bean. Happy belated holidays, happy new year, happy life. Today's video is going to be perfect for you if one of your resolutions was to try and save more money or spend less money. They all get you to the same goal, which is more money. But even if that wasn't one of your resolutions, I think we can all work on being better with how we manage our money. So I hope you will find this video helpful either way. Today's video will be 15 ways that I've come up with, 15 very practical ways to save more money. Before I start, please hit the subscribe button for more videos. I really appreciate it. And now we can start. So the first tip that I have is when you go to any store, but specifically grocery stores, come with the shopping list. Before you leave, you should write down everything that you need to buy so that by the time you get to the store, you're not tempted by some of the other things that you see, some of the sales that might be available. My second tip is to make handmade cards. This will save you money, but it'll also make your friends love you. All you really need is some paper and some markers and colored pencils. If you have a printer at home, printing out photos is also a really great way to personalize the card. Third is make your morning drink at home. So whatever you drink in the morning, whether it's coffee or tea or matcha, whatever you take for your dose of morning caffeine, if right now you're buying it from somewhere else, you don't have to go cold turkey, you don't have to completely stop buying it, but maybe like if you go 4 times a week, try going 2 times a week and then reducing to 1 time a week. The idea is to stop making it a habit or routine, because even though those purchases might seem small, they really add up over the course of a year, especially if you're going like every morning. Another tip is to go thrifting. If you've never gone thrifting, you're really missing out because you can save a ridiculous amount on clothing. I actually have 2 videos about thrifting if you're interested. I also went just yesterday and I got 2 dresses, a cardigan, this cardigan, a sweater, and jogging pants. So 5 things for $3. And honestly, like, this is the kind of cardigan that I just would have bought at a store. Like, you can find really good stuff if you just take a little bit of time to search. Okay, the next tip is to borrow things. So obviously you already know that you can borrow books and movies and things like that from the library, but a lot of people don't really consider borrowing when it comes to anything else. If you find that you need something, think first whether you can borrow it from a friend. So examples of things you can borrow are kitchen appliances that you don't use very often, like an ice cream maker or popsicle maker, bread maker. So if you're thinking you want to start making your own ice cream, just be honest with yourself, you're probably going to make it once a year. So instead of buying and wasting money on an ice cream machine, you could just ask a friend who has one to borrow it for a day. Other things are like electronics. So maybe some sort of special cord that you need to attach one thing to another. Maybe you're working on an art project and need a graphics tablet just for like 2 days. Also, another really good thing to borrow is tools. So like gardening tools or building tools. Obviously, if you're going to be borrowing things, just make sure to take good care of them and return them in the same or in better condition than you got them. Next tip is find free things to do with friends. So there are plenty of free things you can do with friends. Don't say you can't come up with ideas, because that is not a good excuse. There are so many ideas on the internet. You can go on a hike, you can have a board game night, you can have a potluck dinner where everyone brings a dish to share. You could stargaze. And actually, I'm going to include thrifting on this list of things to do with friends, because it is actually so much fun if you do it with a friend. And you can spend like 2 hours at a thrift store and spend $3, so I'd say that's close enough to free. Next tip is drink more water. Honestly, I drink so much water. I have a drinking problem, but it's good for your health and it also keeps you from buying pricier beverages. If you don't like the taste of it, you can drop a lemon or like some berries in it. But honestly, you just get used to it and it becomes your go-to beverage. Also, when you're at a restaurant, just ask for water instead of ordering a drink and you'll save money on your bill. Make sure you buy a reusable water bottle, first and foremost for the planet, but second of all because it just doesn't make sense to keep buying plastic water bottles over and over if you have access to a water fountain. Next tip is eat at home more often. So eating out is another one of those things that can add up very quickly. So if you notice, this video is mainly focusing on those little things that you can take care of to save more money. Obviously, big purchases are also going to make a dent in your budget, but I think it's the little purchases that we don't pay enough attention to and that can really wreak havoc on our finances. So yeah, eating out, if you don't pay attention to it, you might end up spending way more than you expected. So do your best to plan, make time to cook, whatever it takes to make sure that you're eating more meals at home. The next tip is to use the Libby app to get free ebooks and audiobooks. Now, I didn't know about this app for a long time, kind of mad about that. If you have a library card and you have a phone or a tablet, you can be borrowing free ebooks and audiobooks so easily. So there's this app called Libby where you sign in with your library card, and it works exactly the way a regular library would, except online. So whatever ebooks or audiobooks you want, you just check them out and then you have them on your phone or tablet. And if you have a Kindle, you can send the book or audiobook to your Kindle, and that makes it even easier. My knees hurt from sitting like this. I'm like an old lady at age 18. Moving on, search for coupon codes. Don't buy anything online, or I guess in store too, but who goes to physical stores anymore, without checking for a coupon code first. I usually use Retail Me Not. You just type in the name of the store and it shows all the coupon codes that are available. So yeah, you just copy and paste the code into your checkout screen and that's it. Like, this stuff is out there, so why not use it? Why not take advantage of it? Next tip is make big batches of food and snacks. So this works because 1, you are making it easier to eat at home more often, and we already covered that that is cheaper than eating out. And then 2, making big batches of food allows you to buy your ingredients in bulk, which is also usually a lot cheaper. So you might want to do this on a weekly basis, like some people do Sunday meal prep, but whatever works for you. Just plan out what you'll make a shopping list, and then set aside some time to make everything. Next tip is pay in cash. Paying in cash makes the purchase feel more tangible. Basically, you feel guiltier about handing over your cash than you do about just swiping your credit card. One downside with this tip though is that it does make it harder to track your purchases. One annoying thing about Mint, which is a spending tracker that I use, is that they don't let you create like a separate account for cash, so you can't really track it separately. As far as I know, there's just like this complicated workaround that you have to do. Tracking your cash purchases is probably easier if you're using a paper method, but either way, I think it's worth a try and you can figure out how to track it. I believe in you. My next tip is learn how to do things yourself. We are blessed with Google and YouTube for teaching us basically anything we want to know. So whether it's like home repairs or coloring your hair, doing your nails, things like that, like appointments like that, really add up. Now, obviously, there is some risk involved to doing things on your own. I am not responsible for you breaking your refrigerator, dyeing your hair orange, or ruining your nails, but the option is out there. And if you feel confident enough in your skills, you might want to try doing things at home just to save a little bit of money. Next tip is to walk or bike when you can. I personally live in a very non-walkable, non-bikeable area, but if you live somewhere that is denser, I think that's the word, you might want to try walking or biking to the grocery store or to work or to wherever you have to go. So if you walk or bike instead of taking a car or taking a bus, you'll save on gas, on bus fares, on parking. Okay, next is use Ebates when you're shopping online. Ebates is a website where you shop at your favorite websites, but first you go to Ebates and then you click the link to get to your favorite website. So basically they make a commission on sending you to those stores' websites, and then you get that money, or like part of it. I'm sure they keep some of it, but you get like a good 2 to 6% chunk of what you spent at that store. So even if it's just 2%, that's still 2% that you don't have to pay, so it's definitely worth checking out. Alright, next is bring a lunch to school or work. Just like eating out can add up quickly, buying lunches can also add up to a very high cost very quickly. I know it is harder, it's more effort to pack a lunch than to just buy one somewhere, but again, if you just do some planning, make an organized shopping list, and commit to doing a bunch of cooking, you can save a lot of money if you bring your own food. Plus, it's usually much healthier than anything you can find at a store. Sell things you aren't using anymore. So I would say the most commonly sold thing would probably be clothing, but you can also sell electronics, like maybe you got a new camera and you have an old one that you can sell, furniture, books, etc. There are a bunch of places where you can do this. Apps like Letgo, which I'm pretty sure is for anything, Poshmark for clothing, eBay for anything. There's a marketplace on Facebook where you can list your items. So going through and selling your belongings will not only help you make a little bit of extra money, but it'll help you declutter your house as well. Save all of your change. Whenever you make a purchase and you get a couple of coins as change, put those in a jar. You can make yourself a cute little jar like they did in the movie Up. I'm sorry, that's kind of a sad thing to bring up. So just make yourself a jar and keep putting change in there. It's gonna grow slowly, but over time it will add up. And like, you're not gonna miss the 45 cents of change that you got today, so it's better to put it towards savings than putting it back in your wallet. Again, this is a little bit hard to do if you're trying to track all of your expenses, but I'm sure you can figure it out. Okay, number 14, buy versatile clothing and jewelry. I was watching Marie Kondo's new show, Tidying Up, and I couldn't believe how many clothes some of those people owned. But then I realized that I also have more things than I wear on a regular basis, so I think we all have room for improvement when it comes to our closets. So the first step we already talked about is selling your old stuff. So after you clean out your closets and you sell the clothes that you don't really like, you have to have a plan moving forward. So in the future, when you're buying new items of clothing and jewelry, you really have to take some time and think about what that new item could go with. So don't buy something that you can only think of one outfit for. You should ideally be able to think of at least like 5 different things that you could wear that item with. Last tip is probably the most important one, and it is to track your expenses and your income. I think following all of these tips will be kind of useless if you're not actually paying attention to how they're impacting your spending. So tracking your money will not only keep you accountable, but it'll also keep you motivated, because you're going to see how these changes are reducing the amount that you spend and increasing the amount of money that you have in your bank account. For money tracking, you can use paper or you can use a digital tool like Mint, which is what I use. In Mint, you can set up all of the bank accounts that you have, create budgets, set goals, categorize transactions. Basically, anything that you would want to do to manage your money, you can do with Mint. I definitely don't use all of the features because I use it in a pretty simple way, but I think it's a good fit for a lot of people, so you should definitely check it out if you don't currently have a system for tracking where your money goes. Alright, so that was 15 tips to help you spend less money or save more money. Same thing, honestly. I'm gonna go stand up now because my knees honestly hurt so much and my feet are falling asleep. But before I go, make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it or found it helpful, or both, hopefully. And please hit the subscribe button for more videos from the Bliss Bean. I really appreciate you watching and hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!